Hello and welcome to question 6 of the AQA GCSE specimen paper. Here we're told Kelly is trying to work out the two values of w for which 3w minus w cubed equals 2. Her values are 1 and negative 1. Are her values correct? You must show your working. Okay, the key here is not to panic and look at that cubed and think, oh my goodness, I can't remember how to do cubic polynomials. All you have to do is plug in the values that the examiner has given you and see if those values are correct. You're not trying to solve it, you're just trying to work out whether or not the answers are right. And it's a simple question of, do you remember that algebra is simply letter substitution, and you can substitute these numbers in to this function here and get your answer. So all we want to know is, if w is 1, will that whole thing give us 2 as the answer? And if w is negative 1, will that whole thing give us 2 as the answer? So let's plug in the numbers. Let's plug in w equals 1. So we've got 3 times 1 minus 1 cubed is equal to, so 3 times 1 is 3, minus 1 cubed is 1, which is equal to 2. And since 2 is what we're looking for, that is correct. Unfortunately, I can't write well with a mouse, but there you go. Right, so now we've got negative 1. We've got to check out if that's the correct answer. So this is now 3 times negative 1 minus negative 1 cubed is equal to, so that's 3, and that's negative 3 because it's times by negative 1, and then we're subtracting negative 1 cubed. Well, negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1, and then positive 1 times negative 1 is negative 1 again. So this is subtracting negative 1. So that is equal to, so negative 3 minus negative 1. We're subtracting a negative number, which is the same as adding. So that's the same as negative 3 plus 1, which is equal to negative 2. So that is incorrect. Really don't like writing with this mouse. Incorrect. Okay, and that's your 2 points. Picking up in question 7, work out 2 3/4 times 1 5/7. Give your answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. This is worth 3 marks, so we need to really show our working out. First thing we need to do is convert these to improper fractions. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11. So this is 11 over 4 times 1 times 7 is 7, plus 5 is 12. So that's 12 over 7. And the way to think about this, if you didn't know that, is just simply say, okay, 2 3/4. The number 2 is the same as 8 quarters. 8 quarters plus 3/4 is 11 quarters. And the number 1 is the same as 7 sevenths. 7 sevenths plus 5 sevenths is 12 sevenths. So this is equal to, and to multiply fractions, you just multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators, or multiply the top and multiply the bottom. So it's 11 times 12, and we really should show our working out. We can get penalised by doing too much in our head and not writing down, because the examiners need to see our thought process, especially if they're expected to award 3 marks. So that's 11 times 12 divided by 4 times 7, and that just shows the examiner that we know how to multiply fractions. 4 times 7, which is equal to 11 times 12 is 132, which we know from our times tables, divided by 4 times 7 is 28, which again we know from our times tables. This is a non-calculator page, so you're expected to know your times tables. Okay, so now we just need to put this in its simplest form. So what we're looking to do now is figure out how we can make this simpler. Okay, well, if we notice, 12 here is 4 times 3, so we know that 11 times 12 will divide by 4, and we know that 28 is 4 times 7, so 132 divided by 4 is the same as 11 times 3, because that's 11 times 12 divided by 4, which is 11 times 3, so that's just 33. And if we divide 28 by 4, of course, we get 7, which we can just see from here. So we've got 33 over 7, which we now need to convert as a mixed number. It does specifically say we want it as a mixed number. So 33 will go into 7. Well, 5 times 7 is 35, so that's too much. But it's only 2/7 too much. So it's actually 5 minus 2/7, which is 4 and 5/7. The other way you could have done it is to notice that 4 times 7 is 28, which is nearly 33, and then what do you have to add to 28 to make 33? Well, clearly that's 5. So your answer is 4 and 5/7. Hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.